Holy Yoga. Brooke Boone here, founder of Holy Yoga. Thank you for being with us. Today we're going to talk to you about the most basic pose in your practice. It's super foundational and super important, and it's simply standing. It's called mountain pose. Here's the thing about simple standing is that it's not so simple because we have a lot of dysfunction in the body, and so what happens is we carry that dysfunction into our regular standing. So oftentimes mountain pose can be quite difficult, not because of the difficulty of the pose, but actually to the difficulty of counteracting the dysfunction that we just generally assimilate into our bodies, okay? So I'm going to teach you the simplest standing. All right, so feet come about hip-width distance apart. You're going to lift all 10 toes up off the mat and then find the four corners of each foot. Let me kind of explain to you what the four corners of the foot is. It's the outer edges of the heel and just under the great toe and the pinky toe of the feet. Okay, so we're gonna, so when you root down through the four corners of the feet, lifting the toes, you're not gripping with the toes. You're just resting the toes back to the mat. Four corners, rooted. Good. Now, girding up through the legs, so you want to make sure that your muscles of your legs are super engaged, so you're hugging the muscles to the bone, and you're going to soften your tailbone down towards the mat. Drawing your shoulders back, begin to stack the shoulders over the hips, hips over knees, knees over ankles. Let me show you what that looks like from the side. Good. As you draw your shoulders back, what happens is this kind of happens, generally speaking. So we're going to draw the shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades behind the back body. I'm going to slide my shoulders down and away from the ears. But what happens to my neck? It's still forward. So I've got to draw the neck back in line with my shoulders. Ears are in line with my shoulders, and my tailbone's got to slide down just a little bit. Now, nothing changed in my bottom body. So this is anatomically neutral position. Legs are engaged, shoulders are back, heart is open, ribs are knitted together on the front side of my body, and my belly is engaged. So this is mountain pose. A number of different things that you can do with your hands. So you can reach up overhead, so bringing the biceps by the ears. What you don't want to do here is bring your shoulders up towards the ears, draw your shoulders down and your biceps back. Notice what happens in the body. So you got to draw the navel in, move the tailbone down. Good. And then you can bring your hands down alongside the body. Now you can bring the hands to heart center, you can leave them down, you can extend them out. It just kind of depends on where your practice is going. Now here's the really important thing about this pose is that it is your foundational pose. For all of your standing postures and poses, this is where it's at. So please make sure, don't think, oh yeah, I've got that. I know how to stand up straight. Just work that. It's actually pretty difficult. You're going to need to use that victorious breath that we talked a little bit about if you're really doing this pose correctly. So I hope this serves you well. This is your mountain pose. I want you to practice it. Be very intentional with it before you start adding on. Okay? Stay with us. We've got a lot more coming at you to help you with your new and beginning practice.